Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril, the game is World of Warships. Welcome to Ranked, welcome to Domination, and welcome in particular to North. Today's video has a bit of a public service announcement to it. Never ever attempt what the enemy are going to try in today's video. Never ever try to rush A at the start of a game on this map. It's easy to see why you might, of course. A is something of a temptress. She whispers sweet nothings into your ear about some early victory points. She's much closer than that dowdy old control point at B. But do not be fooled. She may well be promising you your next star, that one step closer to black or flint, but it's all lies. A is a trap. Look at the minimap. By the time you're close enough to be capturing A, you are committed. The only way out is through. There's not quite enough room to really get a battleship turned around in point A. It's about 2 kilometers across. Turning circle of a battleship is 1.5, 1.6 in diameter. So good luck with that under fire. And there is absolutely no cover to be had once you're into the control point. The cover setup completely favours a ship defending A from outside it. The end consequence is that anyone trying to capture A early on finds themselves running a gauntlet of gunfire, an avenue of atrocity, a trial of torpedo beats. And speaking of torpedo beats, the enemy are about to get a reprise of another lesson. Smoke clouds, particularly angry smoke clouds, attract torpedoes. 3 launchers fired, we'll put the 4th down on widespread just for luck, and then turn back towards the main fleet. Our Nagato has picked up some early damage from high explosive rounds, but, well, we're in a position to do something about that since I've turned back. All I have to do is get my speed back, and once I've accelerated decently, I can pop my smoke generator and start laying smoke across this northeastern channel. We'll still get some limited spotting from scout planes and the like, maybe a bit from the Mayhan as well, and so our heavy hitters positioned nicely on the corner here are going to be able to provide a bit of cover fire. And then the enemy gets the memo about the torpedoes. Their Southern Dragon eats 2, something ate a 3rd, I'm not quite sure what. We get a brief glimpse of the Sims over in the next channel over, who's trying to sneak around our flank. He is going to be important later. And we can see that the Scharnhorst has taken 1 big hit. The Myoko, it's actually a Southern Dragon, but the replay system doesn't like the custom Myoko cruisers we've got, has taken 2 big hits and is in serious trouble. Sadly, it wasn't a devastating strike, but hey, them's the breaks. The Mayhan and I are swapping out again. He's launched his torpedoes, more suppression fire. Radio location's giving me a rough clue as to the nearest enemy ship. It's still pointing me towards the central smoke clouds, so I can take a safe bet that whatever's closest is probably the Gneisenau, and it's probably around about the same distance as the Scharnhorst. So I'm just going to run my way out to the west and see if I can A, provide some more spotting, and critically B, try to get some torpedo shots in on my own. Get more torpedoes down the alleyway, get the enemy ducking and diving. They are capturing A, but they're well behind us. We have already grabbed B, we are up a cruiser, we are up a control point, and as a consequence we are almost 200 points up and rapidly extending our lead. The enemy finally grabs A. Was it worth the blood, sweat and tears? Probably not. More torpedoes out into the smoke. I had a rough fix on the Gneisenau for a second, but I know there are other ships in there. We know at least there's a Scharnhorst, and we last saw an Akatsuki in there as well, and well, somebody laid that smoke screen. However, you'll notice I'm being a little bit cagey at this point. I've turned away to reload. I know that there was an enemy destroyer lurking in the channel to the west. Now, I don't know where he is, but I can't really afford to take the chance of getting too close. Shiratsu's best tool is her stealth, and if that gets compromised, she is very, very low on options. She's got relatively weak guns, and critically, she is one of the slowest, if not the slowest, destroyer in the tier. Unfortunately, the Scharnhorst saw the torpedoes, so a bit more free damage, nah, ain't gonna happen. Both the German battleships are going to torpedo beat through their salvos that time. However, it does force the Scharnhorst to come off his firing position. He's going to have to take some time to get his guns sorted out, and critically, he is going to have to turn broadside just for a second, so he eats a bit more gunfire. You'll notice my radio location's not pointing at them anymore. It's off to the southwest, which means, yep, that destroyer is still lurking. Interestingly, though, it's not the same destroyer. We last saw the Sims over there and the Akatsuki over in the central channel trying to support the battleships. They've actually swapped positions, as we're going to discover in a minute or two. My torpedoes are back, so dump one on either side of the island. Just to try to account for the enemy's next mover, we pick up the Akatsuki right at the limits of the safe zone. 6 kilometers. My detection's 5.8, Akatsuki's is 6.4. Now, bear in mind that I am in a Shiratsu. As I've said, if I get spotted, I am in a lot of trouble. And that Akatsuki, if he had turned into a pursuit course, if he'd had radio location, he could have turned bow on and run me down. As it is, he is turning bow on, but only because he's getting shot at. The Gneisenau, meanwhile, eats one torpedo from me, and oh, that's where the Sims went. Okay, well, that solves that mystery. He must have been trying to line up a smoke screen to protect the Gneisenau, and as a consequence ran straight into my torpedoes. I would probably try to dodge and couldn't because the battleship was blocking him. Meanwhile, the Akatsuki's finally run me down, but he's only on 1200 health. Fire the guns. Yes, Japanese destroyers have them. But now I have a problem. The Akatsuki's gone, but I've compromised my stealth in the process, and the Gneisenau's secondaries at 6 kilometers, yeah, they're quite happy to load up a small boat. What can I say? Except possibly ouch, and where is my smoke launcher? Torpedoes are running, but the Gneisenau's not entirely stupid. He smells torpedoes, turns to starboard, and that quite nicely forces him to abort his run and go broadside to the heavy hitters. So he takes a complete pasting as he evades my torpedoes, but you know what? I'm not complaining. We forced him to abort his charge. It's going to take him at least a minute to get turned round and control that fire, assuming he doesn't sink in the meantime. And while he's doing that, the Scharnhorst has suddenly got no mates left. Oh dear, that's a bit unfortunate. Meanwhile, I am sat quite in the smoke. I'm just trying for fires at this point. The torpedoes are still 30 seconds away, so just keep popping in the volley after volley of high explosive. The Scharnhorst crawls out of A, battered, bruised and bleeding and burning, and with no damage control, gets round the corner and realises to his horror that yes, he has just run into the entire enemy fleet, and yes, Fiji has torpedoes, and yes, he's dead. Oh dear, what a shame. Never mind. So the enemy are now down to 2 ships. They are close to 600 points behind. No, they're not pulling this one back. Why do you ask? This is... well, let's be honest, this was a total massacre. They tried to charge A, they ran straight into our heavy guns, and we just sat back and blew them to pieces. Martial Arts puts down their Fiji to the southeast, and that just leaves the enemy Gneisenau, who's on 7,500 health, and probably merrily cursing his luck, his teammates, and the siren seductress that is Point A. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been Yuzril. That has been Ranked Domination in North, and a lesson as to why you never, ever try to rush A. There are dumber things to do in this game, face-planting torpedoes and sailing through the middle of 2 brothers, but not very many. Until next time, farewell.